And Captain brothers and sisters, we are finally back. We finally made it to another reaction, another one on this here Mystelics Reacts channel. Big up all the bastards for definitely tuning into these vibrations. The Mystelics family, all in all itself already. Big up, man. Big up all yourself one time, of course. Big up all the Mystelics family. And of course, those who are new to this channel as well. First time you're watching these videos, of course, this is where I give my views on a number of things. Pretty much pertaining to that of the Caribbean people, wherever it is across the world, brothers and sisters, more specifically on this one. Here we're surviving or focusing on the nature. I say surviving. It's interesting, really surviving in the nature of the Caribbean. But we're surviving, and of course, we are focusing on that of Dominica right there in that regard, brothers and sisters. Of course, don't forget to do what? Click the thumbs up button. I would appreciate that right there. Click it, man. Click it to help push these videos further and further there. And of course, if you have not done so, subscribe, brothers and sisters. Turn on that post notification so you can get the latest vibrations when they do tend to come through. Some of you guys, not a merit of you being first time watching the videos, you guys have been telling, I met an individual, they said, Mr. Let's watch, I watch your videos all the time. What is the video you've seen? Some video some months back and this kind of things, and they tell me about the vlog. And they say, I don't see your stuff again, blah, blah, blah. Well, subscribe. When I go on this platform, you don't subscribe to none of them. They'll just pop up from time to time. And that's when he watches them. So I have to subscribe for him right there. Subscribe, brothers and sisters, even if you're watching these videos. Of course, you'll be notified when you're on YouTube. Sometimes you wonder, hey, Mystelics, when you dropping videos? That is when I drop any, brothers and sisters. Subscribe, of course, across the board to the different platforms. BrBpTV, Mystelics vlogs. By the way, guys, I dropped another vlog, man. I dropped a vlog today. Of course, definitely tune in. That link will be in the first comment in the comment box below. As well as what, brothers and sisters? We dropped the podcast yesterday. Yes. We dropped the podcast yesterday. I was bombarding you guys with videos right there. We dropped the podcast. That link will also be the first comment in the comment box below, brothers and sisters. So I appreciate you guys for definitely looking at the vibrations at the end of this video. Stay tuned and stay locked to this one, brothers and sisters. Without further ado, let us get into the vibrations for the day. Of course, we have none other than the legendary folks, Victory. It has been described, brothers and sisters. We know that SKERRIT has been putting pressure on the opposition for them to weaken, or either for them to weaken or be disunified amongst themselves. Hey, do this, do that, do this, do that. When they are the ones cheating in elections, it's crazy how that goes right there. When, well, allegedly, bribery and cheating need to come back into the office right there, of course. Now, we have a number of things we're going to be talking about in that regard, sisters. But, of course, this is Thompson right there. The liberation, brothers and sisters. Of course, the judge ruled in accordance to them, and as a result, throughout the case. Apartment, my lady, there's something you can put in that, you know. First time I say a lady going bald. You can do something about that, you know, my lady. For real. They have hairy growth. You'd have to put nothing. You put some cream or something of that sort. I forget the name. But if the people want to know what it is, remind me in the comments. I'll look for it and give to you guys right there. But it's cream that can actually regrow the hair. So on the basis of this, and this is I didn't know I was gonna do this, brothers and sisters, but let's get into it. On that basis right there, the reason why when we're getting older, certain things tend to happen to our bodies that then cause us to weaken. For example, weaken immune system, you have loss of hair, and there's something called the youth gene. The youth gene slowly dies out. There's something else they call it, but it slowly dies out. So what it does, it makes you get old and all these kind of things there. Well, they have found a way to reverse it. They wouldn't reverse your age, but they will kickstart the youth gene in your body, causing you to bounce back up, brothers and sisters. And as a result of using this stuff regularly, brothers and sisters, then things start growing back and all those kind of things. They're just same thing for the hair. You can regrow as you're getting old. The follicles die down. They age, you know, gravity and so forth. Waiting on these things. So I just thought I'd point this out right there. There's, brothers and sisters, anything can be regrown. Trust me on that one, okay? All right. So anyways, let's focus on Thompson. Yes. And of course, the celebration continues right there. Of course, we see Mr. Edison James getting a hug, and of course, Mr. Lennox Lincoln is also at the back there. Now, one of the things that I have not seen, now guys, correct me if I'm wrong, but where is the Mr. Speaker of the House? Where is Joseph Isaac? If that is his name there, Joseph Isaac, whatever, Joseph, whatever, brothers and sisters. Where is the Mr. Speaker of the House? Wasn't he part of this? You know, oh no, okay, all right. Where's Joshua? All right. So you see me getting some love and so forth. Some other supporters right there. But brothers and sisters, if you understand something, they're gonna be talking in a moment, but if you understand something, let me know what this is. if you understand something very important, these are the folks actually fighting for Dominican freedom. They're fighting for Dominica's freedom. They're taking blows. They didn't have to take the blows, but because the government felt like these individuals were a threat to them, they decided to use all sorts of measurements. One of the things that I think happened, and I could probably be right, is on that 2017 day, when that situation happened, when they was having their rally and stuff, it could be operatives that decided to come and cause havoc, and as a result, they decided to blame the opposition for what they caused. Brothers and sisters, there's a huge possibility of that, no doubt about it. And it's good to see that individuals who probably had no idea what was going on the merit of who caused it, you know, they have finally been exonerated, so to speak. Well, the judge ruled that, you know, let me see, judge rules case amounts to a violation of our right and abuse of the court process. So if the judge ruled that it is a violation of, you know, the rights of the citizen and the abuse of the court process, shouldn't you try to sue the government? Sue the government! I find the government taking too much leeway. That's one of the reasons why I like Trump, them, you know, brothers and sisters. They can go after them. You just go after all of them. This kind of corruption. Boy, you see the kind of corruption that happening in the United States? Well, I want them to go after them, but Dominicans probably just use a set of money to fight case. But brothers and sisters, if people bring false allegations against you, then have to get a lawyer to defend yourself. And that means you have to pay the lawyer. And you have to pay the lawyer for what somebody else caused on you. They cause you distress. And you have to pay a lawyer for what they cause. Hopefully the judge decides to pass on that matter on the merit of letting the government bear the cost. Because you can't tell me you're causing distress for somebody making up things and making things happen, and the person still have, just like them Americans are saying, but wait a while, we innocent. The government come for us, we innocent, we don't do nothing, yet still we have to retain lawyer for our defense, for the government's own mistake. Their own mistake and their own thought process and the logic behind it, they have no clue how they end up there, but they decide to go after people. Then they have to be paying lawyer. I find that unfair. There should be consequences as a result of this. But then again, when you bear the consequences, make sure it's not on the people's money. Make sure it's on their money, because it's the people's money. The millions of dollars they're taking to do these things. It's the people's money they're taking to do that. You know that, guys. The money is that can actually go into helping the hospitals and the roads and all sorts of things. You know what road, brothers and sisters? So hopefully I'll be doing another video tomorrow. More road, brothers and sisters. Look, taking that place that we Rastafari. Anyways, brothers, let's continue.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. We give thanks, firstly, to God for that victory today, and to our lawyers who did an excellent job in defending our cause.
But 8 years, though, 8 years. Well, then again, they have been dragging the case. So
thanks to our lawyers, Mr. Gildon Richard, John Philita, Ronald Charles, and David Bruni, for the work that they did to us. You know, in the words of Martin Luther King Jr., he says that the arc of the moral universe is long, but it bends toward justice. Justice for us meant 8 years. 8 years of suffering the indignity of this government that went on a political vendetta to destroy the leadership of the United Workers' Party. That is what this was all about.
Yeah, and for them to see they can make, and another thing Thompson is forgetting, they want to make you guys look like you are weak. That is the whole point there, you know. They know they wouldn't catch all you. They know all you innocent. But the point that they were doing, the reason why they did was to make all you look weak in the people's eyes. That is the whole point. Have nothing to do with all you did wrong or this kind of things there. It was solely the basis. That is exactly what they did in the United States. Yes. You know how much blows they give Donald Trump? The 4 times indictment. Really? Is indictment they call that now? 4 times, eh? No other president in the United States. What did man do wrong? Nothing. Even the banks who on the man's side, they choose not to listen to the bank. But people are easy, not like just to see if they can convict somebody. That is something else. That's the food eyes.
And thank God the full branch of government, the judiciary, saw through the attempts of this government to attempt to destroy us as the next government in waiting.
I still don't believe in the justice system in Dominica. Sometimes you get wins because of. Maybe it could be that the government running out of money. So they checking, boy, what else was? Let's stop that here. Could be. I don't trust the justice system in Dominica at all. At all, brothers and sisters. There are wins, yes. But the system is, boy, flagrant with corruption. Flagrant.
And today the judge ruled that there can be no further issues. This government cannot do anything in relation to this cause. The case has been squashed completely and totally.
I would expect to see more people there. I mean, they are fighting on behalf of the people, bro. But sometimes people doing things out of sheer will. Out of sheer will, selflessness, Gaza. Hey.
Now we can say thank God for what happened today. Thank God for the impartiality of the judiciary that saw through the attempts of this government, understanding that this was never a legal issue. This was always a political issue. And today we have been vindicated. It's been over 8 years, but it took that long. But we thank God it has happened finally. And we're really grateful to all of you for your continued support. For those who stood with us, who always believed in our innocence, who always believed that these three outstanding gentlemen are not criminals, but gentlemen who are committed to ensuring that we have better governance in this country.
See Edison James, boy.
Gentlemen who are committed to ensuring that this Dominica Labour Party government becomes a thing of the past. And
no, we don't want Dominica Labour Party to become a thing of the past at all. We want justice to be served. Justice to be served, brothers and sisters. Because if justice is not served, bruh, we are doomed to repeat it. Yes, we are doomed to repeat it.
With your support and the people of Dominica, we will ensure that the Dominica Labour Party, headed by SKERRIT, becomes a thing of history and that they relegate it to the dustbin of history. We can do it, Dominica. Let us work together to ensure from this victory that we're going to liberate Dominica from the clutches, the malfeasance.
Well, I agree on the basis that you guys will try your best to liberate Dominica. And I think God will use all you as well. But I think a lot of the reasons why we are not liberated is because the people choose not to focus on the Creator. That is solely the reason why. What else could it be? When mankind is looking at another man to try to elevate him or for him to find some sort of liberation from the struggle that he's in. Brothers and sisters, when I say this day, a thought comes to mind. Because although, yes, you have the labor rights and they supporting the government and things, brothers and sisters, on the merit that they don't even know why. Well, most likely they probably getting little breadcrumbs and so forth and so forth. So they're doing this. They support their government because they're getting breadcrumbs. They want the bread, but they're checking the bread they have to work for, but the breadcrumbs they get it for free. So they decided they stick in with the breadcrumbs, brothers and sisters. So they get a little something. But in merit of that very same statement, brothers and sisters, the understanding is, if the labor rights are doing this, is it possible that those who support the United Workers' Party are doing the same thing? Blindly just following people? Now, brothers and sisters, I am siding with them. I side with them. Because we already know what the one that is present is. Absolutely wicked and corrupt, brothers and sisters. We already know that already. I made a mistake the other day and said that the SKERRIT them is taking in about $90,000. I was corrected, brothers and sisters. And I was told that based on what Lennox was stating, obviously there's bonus and all these additional things that they are giving to SKERRIT per month. It is estimated allegedly that SKERRIT is taking home about $120,000 per month. You want to do the height of corruption, man, sisters? Who is working for who? Who is working for who? But obviously, brothers and sisters, on the merit that they are doing the same thing. Because I'm trying to understand the knowledge, especially when people are talking about United States and this kind of things there. On what merit do they base what they are saying? Is it based off logical facts or is it based off feelings? And if it's based off feelings, how do you source the evidence to prove that what you feel is right? And when I've challenged a number of individuals, both labor rights and United Workers people, on the things that is happening in the United States, I realize that they have a common thing between them. So it's not just saying, yes, you're trying to liberate people, but people need liberation their own self. Because sometimes the root of the problem is not the opposition, it's not the government. It is the people. Now, if labor rights was supposed to scare them leave and the people vote scare them out because of the craziness that is happening, and they bring in United Workers Party, are the supporters going to do the same thing that the labor rights are doing to the United Workers Party people? Are they just going to blindly support? No, like I indicated brothers, like I indicated before, that I am clearly a supporter. I clearly side with the United Workers Party. I clearly, it's not a mistake about that. I clearly side with them because I understand what they are saying, and what they're saying makes sense. It is then putting it into practice. This is why when I had an interview with Mr. Thompson Fountain on the merit of what are they going to be doing, how can they do it? And then it still boils back down to the people, and if the people have the same mentality as the labor rights brothers and sisters, generally speaking, we are doomed to repeat the exact same thing. Now, I do believe that the UWP them not wicked like the present government them. I do believe that they will be trying to do something in the government, because Thompson has a track record for that. In St. Kitts and a number of places, South Sudan, a number of places, he has a track record. So I side with him on that merit, because they say, show me your work, I'll show you who you are. Show me your friends, I'll show you who you are. Not true. Anyways, brothers and sisters, let's continue with this thing right here.
The evil of the Dominica Labour Party government.
Yes. What's the way forward now for Dr. Fountain, Mr. James, and Mr. Lee?
Well, the way forward, we will seek legal redress, because it has been 8 years of being simply smashed down. It has cost me personally hundreds of thousands of dollars to defend myself in this case.
That is what I'm talking about.
Hundreds of thousands of dollars, and we have to ensure that we get complete and total justice in this case.
Absolutely. Now we're talking business. That is what I just said a while ago, brothers and sisters. How on earth they have to be spending all these monies? All these monies they have to spend to defend themselves on the merit of what some other person decide to do. That person should bear the cost, and for wasting your time, you should get 8 years of compensation. Plus, they pay your legal fees. So hopefully that does come through right there.
Yes, yeah. That's fine.
Yes. Can we call Gildan?
Is that right?
Gildan?
Is that right? Have a good day. Good.
Ladies and gentlemen of the media, thank you for assembling. All the folks who came here this morning to see us. Yeah, nice to see you. Okay. Nice to see y'all. Thank God.
Yes.
Praise God. He said no evil formed against us will prosper. He knows exactly what he was talking about. True. But today is an important day for justice in Dominica. This case against us for the incidents of a meeting we had in February 2017 has severely poisoned the streams of justice in Dominica. It's poisoned it with bogus charges of incitement against us.
But before he continues, if that is the case, Lennox, if that be the case, how on earth you expect to find proper justice? Doesn't that mean the entire justice system have to be revamped or thrown away? They just have to be thrown away, thrown in the sea. Like they did this stadium that was being built by United Workers Party. They uproot it and they throw it in the sea. That is exactly what they have to do with the justice system. And I'm talking about the people. I'm talking about the corruption involved in that justice. 8 years.
And a concoction of a case which everybody in the Roosevelt SKERRIT administration knows was unjust. It was not fair. And it was not sustainable either.
Sue them.
But they dragged it on for as long as they could in order to embarrass us in a concerted effort by the Dominica Labour Party to destroy, as Dr. Fontaine said, the leadership of the United Workers Party. And they did not succeed. They spent millions of dollars over the last 8 years.
Millions of the people's money, not their money, no, brothers and sisters. All you understand that? It's not scary their money, no. It's not the police money, not that. It's the people's money they're spending with. And Dominican, you mean to tell me that amount of Dominica alone that show up?
Paying counsel from Trinidad to come in to persecute us. And I call it now persecution.
What it is?
Because that's what it was. And the millions of dollars have probably reached as high as $15 million that they have spent on persecuting us.
15 million. You know what $15 million could do to help Dominicans, boy? They might increase their salaries, all sorts of things to keep the other pirates quiet. At least I'm making a set of money that I would probably never make in Dominica, working anywhere. So I quiet because I get in my salary and I get my benefits. Because the people who are our servants now are paying for everything for us. Can you imagine that? Where the people become the servants and they're begging for the bread, or the masters begging for breadcrumbs. Boy, I tell you.
They said they don't wish us to know how much money they're spending because it will be a threat to national security.
Boy.
We figure it is in the region of $15 million that they've spent.
So they choose not to say how much money they're spending from the people's purse. The people's purse. Bruh.
With these attorneys back and forth. Some of whom were here yesterday but couldn't even remain today to hear the decision of the court. They went back to run their carnival. They were not in time for carnival. So disinterested they were. But importantly,
they get their money coming. They get their money and they roll out what they stay. They already know the outcome going to be to all you. I mean, that was set in stone since 2017. That was set in stone. 8 years. Bruh.
Dominicans were not considered good enough to prosecute the case against us.
And Dominicans that beat the case for y'all. They went Trinidad. Maybe, brothers and sisters, maybe the government them decided to go to Trinidad to get lawyers so they can pay the lawyers a set of money and in turn they will get a cut. Couldn't that be? Couldn't that be? We are here to understand how business works sometimes, brothers and sisters, where certain government officials, they make the foreign companies take the gigs instead of giving it to the local people. Then the country pays these foreign people, and then the foreign people then pay the government or whoever that is affiliated or pay under the different corporation that is under somebody else's name somewhere outside there. But that's not true. Could not be the case. In offshore banks, I don't know. Huh? Could not be the case. They pay the lawyers so that they can get their cut from it. That's why they say, oh, it's national security. We don't want to tell people how much money we spend to do this.
So they went for counsel from the outside. And our local counsel prevailed today.
One thing, kudos to Lennox wife. Kudos to Lennox wife. She stood behind me through thick and thin last week. But Mystelics, you get blows. Because you get blows. Unbelievable blows. And your wife still stuck behind you when the whole world was... but let me can't get married there, boy. Let me get married so the whole world against me. I can at least have some money. Yo, let me continue.
Jeffrey later, David Bruni, who stood with us, and Gabriel, who stood with us in this matter before High Court Judge Colin Williams. They prevailed. The arguments that the incitement charge against us was improper. The arguments that there was too long a delay in bringing this matter before the court for it to be considered just or fair at this stage, and therefore it should go. 8 years. More than 8 years. 7.5 years since they brought the charge, and the judge has decided the interest of justice cannot be served by continuing this case. He has quashed it, and he has debarred the state from pursuing us regarding the February 7th matter in any other way.
That's right.
So you don't think they might use another time? Anyways, I don't think probably jurisdiction on anything else would have passed.
Yes.
So that is the end of this story.
Yes.
For us, we now have our legal issues to sort out. We have our lawyers to pay. Remember, the lawyers from overseas got their millions, eh? We have our lawyers to pay and settle their costs for the wonderful service they did for us here in Dominica. And so
that's why I'm saying the government should pay this. The judge should say, you know, the government, you brought this thing, you've delayed this thing over and over and over. You should bear the cost of it. That's what the judge should do. Because if you don't do that, they're going to continue doing it some other time, some other way, and do the same thing, wasting time. That's what the judge should have do. Make them pay for it. Only the 15 million. Make them pay from their pocket, brothers and sisters. Because sometimes people only feel, oh, it's something I know very familiar with. I remember one of my people would tell me, Mr. Like, somebody hit you. Don't hit them back now. In fact, tell them hit you some more. Because at the end of the day, if you decide you hitting the person and you hit back the person, like the person hit you and you hit back the person and all you hitting each other like it's tag all you playing. If you do that, there is no benefit to you. Next time the person might come and do you the same thing and you do go back and forth again. What you should do is hurt them where it hurts. Brothers and sisters, sometimes you have to target their pockets. When you target people's pockets, sometimes that hurting them far more than the physical blows that they get. I remember somebody else was telling me that. Some lawyer was telling me something. I agree. I check it. Boy, vexing. Anyways, let's continue.
So we'll move on with that. But there is going to be further legal action.
That's what I'm talking about.
Because the government, the state...
And do not make the state pay. Do not.
State of Dominica has to say something about the injustice that we suffered, the damage to our reputations, and the significant...
defamation case. Wait. That is millions. Defamation is millions, boy. You know, they had the money to pay though, Fred. They had the money. They had the money to pay them. Yes, I'm not talking about the public schools now. Go after them, please.
That we incurred fighting a government that spent millions of dollars of the state's money, your money.
That's exactly what I say.
At some point in time, there is going to have to be an investigation of this matter in the public interest of Dominica. So we know who is responsible for this. This was purely political.
Of course.
They knew there was no case. That is why they went all the way to Trinidad to find lawyers who they felt had the competence to concoct a story good enough for the court to listen to. It was not good enough at the end of the day.
What is a lie? What is not?
It's all based on lies. It was all based on lies. It was all based on dishonesty. It was all based on pure corruption, which, as I've said, has severely tainted the streams of justice in this country.
Yep.
And we, the people of this...
I like Lennox. That's why I like Lennox, you know. He gets it, man. He gets it, boy.
Bro, have a duty to continue to stand and to ensure that justice prevails in this country and righteousness visits us always like a race. I want to thank you for coming out. Thank you.
I expect to see, you know, at least 10,000 people there. Giving kudos to the lawyers.
8 years. How many years? 8. How many times have you
7.5.
I stopped counting.
22 times.
Let me just add my voice
Big up the legend.
thanking the attorneys who have worked so diligently on our behalf. David Bruni, Gilden Richards, Geoffrey Later, and I think his assistant was Gabriel Sendile and Ronald Charles here, okay? I've said on the 6th, I think it was, I did say that this is a matter that Roosevelt SKERRIT and Raymond Blackmore are in the center of.
They need to go after Raymond Blackmore and Roosevelt SKERRIT and make sure that they do not use the people's... They must lose. They must lose. That's why they try to drag it as much as possible. And they're going to try to drag this one as well. That is all they're trying to do, brothers and sisters. Killing time. Just like I told you about the injection, but the injection they knew wasn't good for the human body. They knew it. But they needed enough time for as much people to get the injection before the truth came out. I remember somebody was saying you can get the coal and then you pass the coal or whatever. But if that thing is inside your body, you cannot just take it out like that, no? Time, brothers and sisters. And as I mentioned, time, I remember the individual trucker was saying, don't you feel like 20-something years your life just, boy, channel star. 20 years, we. Gasa, 20, ela, thank God for YouTube, boy. 20, last week, what was? Well, then again, some people decide they don't want to do it, but anyways. 20 years of, I remember talking to this Liberate partner, bro. Always in labor campaign, always labor. Hey, passing truck back and forth, labor. Hey. Believing in his father. I asked the partner, so what have you accomplished? From youth, he's 43 now, 43, 44. From youth, 23, 24 years. 23, 24 years. Bruh, the man has accomplished absolutely nothing. You know what, boy? Time is the greatest currency that we have. The greatest currency that we have on planet Earth. Boy, I don't think people understand. Even for life itself, the greatest currency on planet Earth, my God, is time. 20 years of currency has left Dominicans. 8 years on their behalf. 8 years on their part right there, brothers and sisters. 8 years on their part. 8 years. 20 years for us. And Dominicans, all you don't get it yet, boy.
They are the ones who've been leading this matter, and we must pay attention to that. One. The other thing, the origin of this thing has to do with electoral reform and the efforts by our party to ensure that there is proper electoral reform. Yep. We've said that elections have consequences. They know that. And that is why they are so adamant to prevent us in this country from having proper electoral process.
Because they know there's due recourse as well. There's recourse, brothers and sisters. What you have done, they do not want them to win at any shape or form. They don't want them to win. They bring them to court. Do all sorts of things. Lambast their name, say who ugly and have big nose, as if they don't have big nose too. But because they are dimples, because everybody have big nose, brothers and sisters. I have big nose, you have big nose, everybody have big nose, but they say you have big nose. And they wanted people to laugh. The other people with big nose laughing, that if somebody saying somebody big nose have big nose. That's, bruh. That's all. Let me finish that.
There are indications that they might be going to the Parliament on the 19th of next month with the bills. You here and those who are listening and watching must be vigilant and be prepared to be there and to let the government know what you think about what they're doing. We have had a long process. For me, this is not over. Because you remember, I was put in the cell by Loader. I have instituted legal action against him. We were in the court on Monday, and we have been asked to go to mediation. We will be doing that.
Mediation is a waste of time. Mediation is a waste of time. Sometimes the government themselves don't even show up to mediation. So what you have to do? You have to tell them whatever part that the amount of money that is being spent, put it on the government, because they are the ones who didn't show up. Yes, you have to tell them, put the expense on the government.
If it doesn't succeed, we go to the court for the matter to be heard. But I intend to pursue this to the...
Bypass the mediation. They're going to wait. Mediation is wasting time. Can anybody with experience on the basis of mediation, brothers and sisters, can you guys let me know if mediation was ever successful? Huh? Can anybody tell me? I'm willing to hear that in the comments.
Fullest, because this is all part of the victimization, and I am determined at 81 not to let this government at all have their way in terms of injustice.
Yeah, when they took my drone, they thought that people were going to go quiet. I won my first case, by the way. They gave me back my drone, and I won my first case. They have to pay me for my drone. Of course, you're crazy. But we have another one coming, with another one in session. I must win that. There's no if or buts about it. You think you can take advantage of anybody? The police already warned all you not to put Mystelics there. Okay. When police warn, I'll listen. Okay. Are you lucky? Boy. There was another thing I was going to do. Are you lucky? The guy afraid. I don't afraid nobody on this planet. None. Far less to afraid people from Dominica. I remember I was in Botanical Gardens and some of the security wanted to try to press me. I just start to record. I say, oh, don't record there. Who is you to tell me not to record there? Who are you? Bruh. If you really want to see that video, it's the I think it's last year or the year before. Cultural Gala. Yeah, I think it's probably 2023 Cultural Gala. Check that out on YouTube. I have a vlog of it. You should have touch alone me. Just when I learned that thing, I just touch alone. You have to touch me. boy.
I'm asking you, all of you.
I laugh at that because people don't know, People don't know. But I know they protected by the state. I know. That one that was messing, he disappeared. Oh, he disappeared. He's smart. But we must. That's why no matter where you be, we must find you.
Recognize the work that we are engaged in.
You disappear. Oh, I see. You think you in states? I know you in states. You think it's safe up there for you? Okay.
The work that we are engaged in a party that is seeking
When lawsuit meet you, you'll understand.
to prevent a situation where these guys in government who know that once they leave government, that they are in some jeopardy in terms of what they have been doing.
Yeah, exactly my point.
So we are the ones who are standing between the demise of this country brought about by these guys and the people of this country. So I'm saying to you, it's happy to have you here with us, and you are the medium through which these matters can be communicated to the people. Okay? They have said, as I mentioned earlier,
Do that camera person.
and remember, never forget that what we have been subjected to has its roots, has its clothing in the question of electoral reform. And they were prepared to put us in jail for 7, 8, 10 years so that we do not advocate on this important matter. So, Thompson from Lennox Linton, a decision insignificant in this matter. But I want you to just focus on the wider picture of us seeking to save our country.
Kudos, man. Kudos to them. Kudos to them. They didn't have to. These three men, they didn't have to. If we can get a full picture of them, of all three of them. They didn't have to, brothers and sisters. They chose to defend Ilaswi. They chose. Dominicans sometimes, not just Dominicans, no, the world by extension, because I notice in different countries. Humanity is a heck of a thing, bro. Anyways, brothers and sisters, what are your thoughts, man? What are your thoughts? Definitely check the links in the first comment in the comment box below, the latest vlog, as well as the podcast that I did with the original Dice, brothers and sisters. Yes. Before Dice, the 10-time Calypso King there was an original one, brothers and sisters, that probably would have given Dice a run for his money on the merit of the things that he could have done or could do back in the day. Man, check out that podcast. It's about 2 hours long, so you might want to check out the vlog first and then check out the podcast right here, brothers and sisters. If you're chilling on this Friday, well, I have you guys organized. Happy Friday, brothers and sisters. And with that said right there, click the thumbs up button, subscribe if you've done so, subscribe and turn on that post notification so you can get the latest vibrations when they do tend to come through. And with that said right there, brothers and sisters, be real, salute the king always. Despite the odds of the wicked at people, them brothers and sisters. Be real. Be positive.